Inside the 20 by 20 is a dynamic wrestling podcast offering fans a comprehensive recap of the week's top matches, promos, and angles from WWE, AEW, and beyond. With new episodes released every Monday morning, this podcast provides wrestling fans with a perfect start to their week, offering insights and analysis to prepare them for the upcoming wrestling action. Inside the 20 by 20 is a GDP production and brought to you by the TCR Network. Go to tcrnetwork.co for more information. What's going on, baby? This is episode 1 of Inside the 20 by 20, a pro wrestling podcast. With my boy, GDP.
That's me.
My boy, Cross718. That's him.
That's him. You should probably say something, seeing as this is an audio podcast.
I should, but, I wanted to pose a little bit.
Oh,
There's going to be plenty of that going back and forth with this tree. What else tree? Oh, man. So, all right, let's go. What are we talking about? We're talking about WrestleMania 40.
WrestleMania. The biggest WrestleMania of all time. By every metric.
Ever. As Chris Jericho would say.
By every metric of what they measure now, right? Box office, merch.
I mean, everything's the biggest of something every time they do a pay-per-view.
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Speaking of the biggest, and like in that whole aspect of how their metrics and everything, if it continues and we continue the trends, everything getting sold out, merchandise going, pay-per-views sold out, views are up, this and that, then is Cody Rhodes the GOAT of all goats?
I don't know.
Because that's what they were measuring. That's what they were measuring.
I think it has a lot to do with The Rock. I mean,
this is gonna become a whole Jordan versus LeBron conversation
Probably.
that I don't think people are waiting for. So
I think we have to.
It's the only thing people want to cut.
We gotta see we gotta see how long Cody even holds the belt for.
That is true.
I don't think he's gonna hold it for 1,300 days.
Nah, definitely not.
Nah,
definitely not. But that's the thing though. Like that's great
if
about
he holds
him.
the belt to Survivor Series, it'll be a miracle.
Nah, I'm feeling Survivor Series. If Roman does come back, which people are saying he's coming back sometime in August, Survivor Series is going to be, like we've all been seeing,
the Bloodline versus the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
This is Bloodline. Roman's coming back as a babyface. Who knows? Cody might team up with him because he's showing him a lot of respect right now.
So
I don't know.
When
Roman
when Roman comes back, he's coming back for Seth Rollins. I think that it's Seth Rollins cost him the title. That was that was the last distraction that led to him getting beat.
But hold on, is Seth Rollins even gonna be here?
I think that they can.
Because he's beat up.
I think they're gonna figure it in a way where they both come back in time for SummerSlam, and they're gonna have their match at SummerSlam. I see The Rock coming back in time for SummerSlam as well.
You think that quick though? SummerSlam's only like 3 months away, 4 months away.
SummerSlam is in August, 4 months away. So I think that The Rock only came back a month before WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's The Rock,
and
he says he's preparing for WrestleMania 41.
So that's him versus Roman for sure, 1,000%.
You think it's him versus Roman because he says he wants.
I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna
he
get
wants
Cody.
To touch his, and they're gonna touch each other's belts.
They want to hold each other's leather. No, but I think
what strudel touching what?
Strudel.
Yes, strudel touching.
I think that I don't know. I mean, it's all up in the air right now. It all depends. I think what's been floating around, the rumor and innuendo, is that it's The Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam, Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam, and then some Bloodline stuff. Obviously, turmoil in the background with the Bloodline. So.
Well, we shall see.
We shall see. But WrestleMania 40, what an incredible weekend. I wish I could remember what happened night one, but unfortunately, I partook in a little bit of too much fun on Saturday night. But I can tell you that Sunday night was amazing. And luckily, I've been hearing everywhere that I read up and been listening to podcasts and stuff saying that night 2 was the better night out of the 2 nights. What do you guys think about that?
Thank the wife on that one.
Yeah.
Mr. GDP.
Yeah, I will. Well, it's,
100%.
it's recorded here for the rest of eternity now.
Yes, perfect. I'm forever indebted to Mrs. GDP.
Oh, screw the both of you.
Yeah, but night 2, I think definitely killed it. I mean, night 2's being put up there with WrestleMania 17 caliber of how good it was.
And it's crazy because a lot of people were saying, leading up to it, they were saying night 1 had the better matches than night 2,
including me.
Yeah, and then that all changed.
Yeah,
I mean, night 1 did have the better matches on paper. It was just the delivery on some of those matches were kind of horrendous.
Oh, come on, man! Like the build up with Jimmy versus Jay, and then the non pull through of it. Like,
yes,
I'm sorry. Like that match should have taken the whole.
I think
night 1.
I think Jimmy needed that win more than Jay did.
That was really tough to rewatch. I went back and rewatched it because everybody was saying how bad it was, and I remember the crowd being into it, but man, not good. Not great.
I went back and I watched some matches too, but like watching it on Peacock but watching it in person, like I got into legit arguments with people on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube saying that the crowd was dead for night 2. And I was like, yo, where the hell were you guys? I'm like, yo, when Cody won, the stadium rumbled.
When The Undertaker came out?
You were able to hear it.
I think that was probably the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah, and people said, no, it wasn't that loud.
I can tell you when The Undertaker came out, it was that place erupted. Come on, man.
You know what made it even better? The fact that people were waiting for the glass to shatter.
So you heard what happened with that, right? Supposedly.
He didn't get the money.
Supposedly that they couldn't make his deal, money wise, which is weird because I would think that Stone Cold would just want to be a part of WrestleMania 40. And
no, it's a business.
Yeah, that's that kind. And maybe he's just too closely associated with McMahon.
I think he was offended that he wasn't asked to induct Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame.
Really?
Which probably would have made more sense than Roman, considering that Austin had decades of history with Heyman in 3 organizations.
Yeah.
I understand he was Roman's wise man, but it didn't make sense.
It's tough. But we were all of Sunday when we were walking around to all the tailgates and we were walking around to all the bars and having a grand old time.
Everyone was convinced.
We saw Kurt Angle. We saw Austin Theory.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair was in the same bar that we were at. Pretty crazy. He gave a speech. We walked in on the tail end of that. Champ, Champ, give a shout out to all the boys from the crew that we were chilling with that day.
Oh yeah, Mania Club. Shout out to Mania Club for hosting that dope party on Sunday.
Yeah, incredible at the live casino and hotel.
The right
one, because we went to the wrong tailgate. Oops, we were standing in line too.
Why would they have 2 different live events?
We stood it.
Stadiums called live.
WrestleMania weekend, dude. There was wrestling events every 5 feet.
No, the actual name of the casino was Live,
and the name of the tailgate was Live.
The place where we were at was Live Xfinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So when I got tickets, we got tickets for the live.
And we literally showed another person in line the tickets, and they were like, "Yeah, right." Remember, we showed them, and they were like, "Yeah, you're good."
Oh yeah, you're all right.
And we literally stood in line for like 20 minutes.
That's what you get for believing people.
I know. We should have just gone up to
somebody who worked there.
We should have gone up to somebody that worked there and been like, "Yo."
You should have asked for an adult.
Probably should have. But yeah, so I think we're all in universal agreement. Night 2 definitely better than night 1. Any surprises other than surprise wins? I think that obviously Cross called the Damian Priest cash in,
but the execution of the cash
with CM Punk
was Perfect.
I think added a little extra touch to that feud, and I think that feud is gonna be one of the greatest feuds of 2024.
Yes, 1,000%.
Cross, you wanna?
Unless,
I gave you your flowers. You wanna
unless,
take the?
unless CM Punk goes backstage and beats up a 23-year-old skinny wrestler.
We'll talk about. We're gonna cover Dynamite in a little bit, and we'll talk all about that because that was.
Hey, CM Punk got wins this week.
He got a win on Dynamite. He's the only wrestler to get a win on every single show now, or appear on every single show in the same week, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. That's
well,
pretty
I mean,
amazing.
technically, Lex Luger did the same thing.
And so did Rick Rude, right?
Rick Rude.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember when Rick Rude showed up. Well, that was actually on the same exact night, right? Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally he was on both shows. The Monday Night Wars. We'll do.
How simple, but.
I know, right? Well, but yeah. So I would say night one, probably Rhea and Becky. That was a great match.
That was a great match. Even though I did not like Becky's outfit. I understand she's promoting her book, but there's no reason.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Becky. I wasn't a fan of her outfit either. We were both like, "What's on her outfit?" And then we're like, "Why are there words on it?" And then they're like, "Oh, it's her book."
Yeah, I think she should have taken the cue from Seth and learned how to dress properly for a major event.
He took her whole wardrobe. Come on.
I mean, Seth's entrance night 2 was pretty crazy with all the clowns and all that insaneness. Yeah, that was.
I love Seth. No, hold on. Let's clear it. Let's give Seth his roses. He was the MVP of the entire week, not only WrestleMania, because that guy went to work on Friday. He was working Saturday, and he was
working
Sunday.
the whole week.
He worked every day that week.
Yeah.
That guy.
I think even The Rock today on social media gave Seth his flowers and called him the MVP of WrestleMania.
100%.
He's just a workhorse, man. He was involved in all of the main events, even the one that he wasn't supposed to be involved in. He was involved in
pretty much.
Tell me how when you heard the Shield entrance,
we were all looking around like Ambrose.
I was like, it has to be Ambrose.
No. Even I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
You mean the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion of the world?
Oh
shit.
Yeah,
yep.
It didn't take long for the Shield to not have a belt.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. World title.
Well. Anything else from WrestleMania?
So I think the best match of WrestleMania Night 1, next to the women's match, was probably the tag match.
I can tell you that being there,
the main event or the Jade the
tag belts,
the tornado match.
For the tag team champion. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
R-Truth.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. R-Truth gets his flowers every day.
I think the delivery of the dividing the belts was probably best for business, for lack of a better term. Considering that, yes, the roster is actually oversaturated with wrestlers.
Yeah.
But it'll give other guys an opportunity to hold a title that's not in the bloodline or with anyone else, like the Judgment Day, whatever. Plus, it'll help with the draft.
With them losing the belts, you kind of knew, all right, Damian Priest is definitely going to be cashing in tomorrow. Because,
right. That's why I was happy.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, that botch with the ladder, though. I don't understand why you see a broken ladder and still decide to climb it, thinking that everything's gonna be okay.
That was kind of like the botch with the table on night 2 with the Bubba Ray Dudley telling them to get the tables, and then they put the guy on the table, and the table broke in half. It just broke like perfectly right down the middle too. That was.
They don't make those tables like they used to.
No.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Well, that was a nice surprise, though.
Yeah,
it was their own fault. I mean, they didn't even put the lock on the table's leg. They just
they
had
barely,
it there. It wasn't even fully open.
You could tell they didn't.
They
word in ECW.
Deep down, they wasted the special guest ref spot. I guess they needed to have an ECW original come out in Philly, but like if they were gonna do a special guest ref, it should have been Rikishi as friggin' referee against for his kid for Jimmy and Jay.
Nah, that doesn't work.
I don't. Imagine that. You have to call a match down the line. Not only is it like epic because of epic proportions because it's a whole family feud. Now you got your dad trying to be like,
the referee.
The referee, yeah.
Can Rikishi move around like that to be a referee? Can he?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's physically possible.
The match could have gone further south with Rikishi as the referee.
I think it probably.
It could have made it a little bit
Listen,
more.
I don't know if that match could get any worse. To be honest with you, I mean, maybe Rikishi might have made it a little bit better, honestly, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, in the end, Cody finishes his story
to begin another one. End of
to
that
start
chapter.
a new chapter in this new era. That everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are calling the Paul Levesque era. Or the Triple H
not
era.
the Gambino era?
The Gambino era, you know? So
many eras going on.
there's a lot of eras nowadays. But anyway, yeah, Cody finishes his story.
Hold on, let's go back to night 2.
Let's go back.
Bailey versus Io.
Yeah, great match.
Good match. I wouldn't say it was the best match of the night.
Nah,
probably.
Is that all you wanted to say? Is that all you wanted to say?
That's all I wanted to say.
All right.
Oh.
Bailey, I hope you heard that.
What kills me with that match, though, is I feel like it was better on TV than it was in person.
It was
the match wasn't hyped.
It was kind of dead.
Yeah.
For that match, I would say the crowd was kind of out of it for that match. They should have had They should have had a Let Me Up match before that match.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the what's it called? A Let Me Up match?
I don't know, bro. You and me were frozen in time. We didn't move from our seats because we were so cold.
It was cold. It was. I was like, damn.
And I was like, I'm not getting up because I wasn't drinking that night. I was like, I'm not getting up. I'm staying right here because I remember how crazy it was the night before. But anyway, but yeah, I think.
So hold on.
Bailey.
One more match we need to discuss. Which was kind of disappointing but kind of obvious. Gunther versus Sammy.
Weird that they took the belt off Gunther, but I think it's because, like you guys stated before, they have bigger plans for my man. Yeah. He could be the biggest heel in WWE.
It was well received though in that arena.
Absolutely,
it was.
The crowd popped.
Oh yeah,
the crowd popped for.
I mean, everybody likes Sammy.
Yeah,
love Sammy.
I think WWE owed him one after jobbing him out to Roman last year. In front of his home crowd.
That's exactly
if there would have been any time other than Cody to take the title off, I think that would have been it, and Sammy would have been instantly main eventer for a really, really long time if he would have been the one. But I understand why they did it. But let's see.
I don't know. I can't see Sammy as a world.
Let's see what he can do with the IC title. I mean, tonight I believe he has a match with. Chad Gable. So we'll talk about that next week. Yeah. But
imagine he's interim champion. He just loses the belt.
In Montreal.
Wasn't Sammy the man who introduced the new IC championship?
I believe so. I believe he was the one that said it's time to bring this title back to being prestigious, and he started talking about Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and that whole deal. So we'll see.
And they got rid of the classic belt. They got rid of the right straps.
That's right.
The one that Cody introduced.
All right. Well, that was WrestleMania, everybody. Stay tuned. Right after this quick message, we're going to get to Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania.
The TCR Network presents the Tuesday Night Titans, Twitch's longest running e-fed. Come check us out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on Twitch, where we have the hardest hitting e-fed of all time. If you want to join in on the action, please check us out at tcrnetwork.co.
All right, guys. WWE Monday Night Raw, the night after WrestleMania. Of course, sold out from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Champ and I were walking around the Wells Fargo Center on Sunday night.
By the way, I gotta say, love the way Philly has everything set up. The fact that they have all their arenas and their stadiums in one little area.
Including, baseball stadium, amazing. Everything really dope.
New York sucks compared to that. That's all. That's
all
Shout out
to Philly. Not to alienate our New York audience right off the bat. Just ignore Champ. He is actually from New York. You can find him. Just go over there and find him if you don't like what he just said.
I mean, but you have to think about it. Philly versus New York. New York is a much bigger city. We have teams in every borough. And in New Jersey, that's how good we are. We could take over another team in a different state.
You definitely need to put a football stadium in New York. So anyway, the Triple. All right, come on, guys. The Triple H era
has begun.
Of WWE kicked off on Monday. All right. And, of course, he kicked off. There he is right there. A Triple H doll. This guy plays with dolls. Triple H comes out to the ring.
The Triple H goal right there.
There we go. For everybody, we are going to have some video content on YouTube, so check that out, even though this is an audio medium. Triple H comes out and, of course, talks about how it was the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And then, of course, he introduces us to the man who's going to lead us into that new era, Mr. Cody Rhodes. What did you guys think of Triple H obviously putting over Cody?
The best line of the night was, let's watch this video. It's a little bootleg because we got to bring out this little...
That was hilarious. That was so funny.
I died as soon as he said that.
That was really funny, right? That was really funny.
Because then you think about how...
But that's Triple H, you know, and that's why I always appreciate him. Yeah.
Right. Well, he said we're gonna be experimenting with new production techniques, new sets, smaller sets, so that we can fit more people in the arena, right? So, which means more.
Dude, but I'm not gonna lie, that new set puts the current set to shame.
I like it. I like it a lot too. I actually do like it a lot. It's minimalistic.
Yes.
I will like it as long as they're pay-per-view PLEs. The PLE sets go back OG and they make it themed. Like, remember Bad Blood, and there was actual blood dripping, you know, like big blood drops. Like, I want to see like more effort in PLEs. Yeah. But then again, I know they want to sell tickets, so.
Right.
I mean, most of the PLEs are gimmicked.
Yeah.
Most of them
for the
are.
most part.
Yeah, but again, this is a business. And during the 90s and early 2000s, Vince McMahon was trying to make sure that no one, you know, watched the other product.
He who will not be named.
Yeah, Voldemort.
Whatever.
But what sucks with that, though, is like when you play 2K24, it's like every PLE arena is the exact same arena, just with a different, you know, wallpaper.
I'm sure maybe they'll put out a DLC with the new arena. Anyway, so Rhodes talks about being the top dog now. And then, of course, who comes out? The final boss. The Rock, and he's greeted with the Rocky Sucks chants, and then he proceeds to have a very awkward "Can I hold yours? You want to hold mine?" exchange. What did you guys think of that?
So hold on a second. Sorry, Cross. That was actually in reference to years ago when The Rock had the Scratch logo, the network, not the network logo, but like the big scratch.
The Undisputed.
The attitude.
At the time, Cody came out.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Oh, can I look at it?" So they were referencing that at the time. I didn't realize it because it was like, you know, that was like 13, 14 years ago. But
I didn't realize that either.
Was it really that long ago?
It was a long
when
time
he was
ago.
dashing.
He was undashing, I think, because I think he had the mask on.
Huh.
No, he didn't. I'm trying to remember. Well, anyway, continue.
Yeah. So I mean,
it was an awkward segment. Not gonna lie. I don't know what he handed him either.
So that's the other thing.
That was their way of touching each other's strudels without touching each other's strudels.
Yeah. So he put something in Cody's hand and he says, "Don't break my heart again." That was
my achy, breaky heart.
This all leads to most likely Rhodes versus Rock, perhaps at SummerSlam, perhaps further down the road at Survivor Series. Would make sense. Survivor Series is where The Rock debuted, right? Survivor Series 90, whatever it was. So there's some history there with The Rock. Maybe he comes out with the Rocky Maivia gear. What do you say? Anybody down with that?
Yeah, right. I want to see him come out with that wig or that nappy hair.
There's a better chance Seth Rollins would do that than The Rock.
Seth Rollins, kind of looks like Rocky Maivia sometimes with that stuff that he'd be wearing. So this was a very, very long promo segment that started Monday Night Raw. 45 minutes.
And it went I think it went over. It definitely went over.
I think that if it was anybody else, this would have been really, really way too long. But since it was Triple H, Cody, The Rock, kind of went by quicker. So I'm gonna give this segment an A. What do you guys say grade wise? A, B, C, D, E, F, G? No, A, B, C, D, F.
I was just gonna say I gave it an A minus.
A minus.
It was good, but the end it was like, what the hell did he put in his pocket?
So
What do you mean? Don't break my heart again. While it's good for suspense, knowing that The Rock isn't gonna be here for a couple months,
Yeah.
true.
people are gonna forget that it happened.
Long-term storytelling. Long-term storytelling.
Right. I think Cody alluded to what it was that he put in his hand on SmackDown. We'll get to that later on, but
Yeah, it was the heart of Tafiti.
A what?
the heart of
The heart of
Tafiti
Tafiti.
from Moana.
The heart of Tafiti?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say A because of the importance and the significance of the buildup of that rivalry, which will continue going forward. If it was like ending the rivalry,
Right.
I would have probably given it a B. But because it's like the start of something new,
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go.
I
with
love
an
the
A.
line The Rock told Cody. He said, "Your story with Roman Reigns is over. You did it, but our story has just begun."
Just begun. Yeah.
So
It's like, oh, I knew he was gonna
great.
say that.
And then also,
It's a bad cliffhanger.
and then also, I just want to also point out that, like you said before, in our opener, Cody giving Roman his flowers and a huge "Thank you, Roman" chant from the crowd. So a lot of people acknowledging the tribal chief, who doesn't look like he's done. He did post on Twitter that he's working out.
But is he the tribal chief anymore?
I don't think so.
I mean, a lot of stuff went down. So next, I think because of the long Cody promo, they had to cut the debut of, how do you pronounce his name, Cross?
Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov defeated Shinsuke Nakamura in 4 minutes. 4-minute match for Ilya.
Dragunov is good though.
Yeah.
He's a good.
Dragunov
He
is
is
awesome.
a very, very skilled wrestler.
That's right.
He is.
That's right. And it looks like his time in NXT is coming to a close, because he did state in a promo during Raw that he's entering the draft. So he will be eligible to go to Raw and or SmackDown.
And he is the current NXT champion.
Right. So
That's
who's
true.
next in line for NXT champion? So that's Swerve.
Trick Williams.
Trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Trick Williams.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Wrong company, bro.
Oh yeah,
Wrong
Swerve is
company.
AEW. My bad. I get whatever. Then we had the Judgment Day came out, and your new
Yes.
WWE World Heavyweight Champion Damon Priest came out with the belt. A lot of "You deserve it" chants. And yeah, what did you guys think of?
And then don't forget, R-Truth came out as well.
That was so funny. They were all holding the belts up, and then he comes out with the belt.
By
Amazing.
the way, they are getting new tag belts tonight.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yes.
Well,
Oh,
make sure you go to Inside the 20 by 20 on IG, Twitter, TikTok, everything, because you know that we'll be posting the pics of the brand new tag team
Ooh.
titles as well.
Okay.
They didn't
It
get
sounds
introduced
like
yet,
it sounds
did they?
like Cross is already seeing the tag team championships.
They're looking pretty better than the current tag team titles.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So 6-man tag team match then happens out of nowhere.
No, technically it was a 2 versus 3 handicap.
That's right.
match.
And Truth did allude to someone who, what was it say? Someone that we can't see.
They had a partner that you couldn't
They
see.
had a partner that, yes.
Little Jimmy.
I think
Little
I think
Jimmy.
everybody thought it was Little Jimmy, but then of course,
Yeah, he's Big Jimmy now. It's been years.
You know,
Yeah, it's been years.
Judgment Day starts getting the upper hand on Awesome Truth, and whose music hits? But the 16 time. No, not Ric Flair.
The real GOAT.
Not Ric Flair.
The real GOAT.
John, You Can't See Me Cena comes in the ring.
R-Truth's idol growing up.
Yep.
R-Truth's, you know.
He looked up to him growing up, even though
I mean, ignore the fact that R-Truth probably has about a good 10, 11 years on him, but he looked up to him growing
I
up.
know. And R-Truth finally gets to finish his story by doing the 5-knuckle shuffle in the ring with the Rock, you heard me, with John Cena, and getting that dub.
So did The Miz,
So did the Miz.
So
That
did The
was
Miz.
interesting, right? Very interesting.
which is a shocker.
Yeah. So Cena and Awesome Truth pick up the dub there. Nice little, gave him some time, 12 minutes, not bad. 12-minute match. So Dominic Finn and JD McDonough take the L. Afterwards, it looks like we have, there was another NXT debut. This time Roxanne Perez made her debut on Monday Night Raw versus Indy Hartwell.
If you're gonna call her by her name, you call her by her name correctly. She is the prodigy, Roxanne Perez.
Well, the prodigy and Indy went for 2 minutes and 44 seconds.
That's very prodigical.
With Roxanne picking up.
Prodigal.
With Roxanne picking up the dub. I would say the major story about this was that prior to the match, Liv Morgan attacked Rhea Ripley backstage. And then now we all know, unfortunately, what we'll be talking about a lot more next week. I'm pretty sure once we get some more details on the injury, it looks like Rhea is going to have to relinquish her title and is going to be out for a few months. So next up, we had Sami Zayn and Chad Gable versus Imperium. The newly minted Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn.
I think that was an okay match. I mean,
cutting a promo, and then Imperium comes out and starts bad-mouthing him.
I would have liked for Gunther to come out and beat them up, but it didn't happen, so.
Yep.
Yeah, Gunther's taking some time off, though.
I think he is.
Cool spot in the finish. Haluva kick into the Chaos Theory from Gable was pretty dope. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out on YouTube. Very, very cool finish to the match. Backstage, Chelsea Green. How do you say Chelsea Green, Cross?
Chelsea Green.
There it is.
Who finally got an apology from the hotel who thought she was an escort.
Finally.
Yeah, I know.
Finally.
Let's keep it PG. Keep it PG. Oh wait, we're not in the PG era anymore. Never mind. She's a hooker. They thought she was a hooker.
That was on TMZ. It's
Embrace the GDP. Embrace it.
Embrace the Triple H era.
Well, so technically we're still in the PG era until we get to Netflix.
Oh, I can't wait for that. So speaking of Chelsea, she was Jade Cargill's latest victim after that. Talk about a squash match. 32 seconds for Jade to get in there and drop Chelsea Green like a bad habit. I don't know. I feel like maybe they were running short on time and then just told them to kind of...
The Rock probably took up so much time that they had to cut everybody's matches.
I'm pretty sure.
You could tell that was meant to be a squash match.
Yeah. I guess. But it was just very, 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 very short.
Well, former tag champs, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven were former tag team champions, right?
What does that mean? How many former champions got squashed by a bigger opponent?
Yeah. Well...
We're in different times, though.
Are we, though?
I love my girl Piper, all right? And my girl Chelsea.
After that, they cut backstage. Sami Zayn offers Chad Gable a Intercontinental title shot. That's taking place.
Just handing him out now. I just handing out
in
shots.
Montreal.
Like, you don't even earn them.
In Montreal this week. That's coming up later tonight. And then finally, we had your main event for the #1 contendership of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Damian Priest. We had Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet versus Jey Uso. So, fatal 4-way match. What did you guys think of the match? Did you get to see who did you think was going to win when they put these 4 names up there? I thought Drew
Drew
had it.
I honestly would have thought Drew, but then I thought about it and I was like, if CM Punk screwed him the night before, he would screw him tonight.
Yeah.
It was a long shot, and it came to fruition.
Drew's contract is coming to an end in like 4 to 5 weeks, and obviously, if he's having this amazing feud with CM Punk right now, he's definitely re-signing because what better to have a
where are you gonna go that's gonna be more relevant than that? Unfortunately,
exactly.
I think that match is probably gonna be in higher demand than whoever's fighting Damian Priest. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. The Drew and CM Punk are just too big. CM Punk.
What are you gonna do though? Drew's gonna what? Go to AEW? CM Punk's already making names in AEW, and he's not even on the show. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Punk's everywhere.
Oh man.
Punk is right. That's all I know. Punk has always been right.
So obviously we have some interference here from Punk at the end, preventing Drew McIntyre from getting the Claymore that would have probably gotten him the 1-2-3 versus Jay. Jay hits him with the super kick, then the big splash. 1-2-3. Jay Uso is now your number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Shout out to Ricochet with that spot.
Oh man, that it hurt my ribs.
Oh, reminded me of when HBK did it.
The backflip.
And he landed on back in the day.
Yeah, he landed on
the
chest.
Table.
Oh, yeah. I love how Ricochet looked over to Samantha and said, "I'm sorry," before he did it. Like, ouch, ouch.
I'm going on it and I'm standing by it very, very firmly. Right now, I'm noticing a lot of content creators on TikTok and wherever else bad-mouthing Samantha.
Why?
Because she's too emotional when she puts into.
Listen, Lillian Garcia was emotional.
Thank you. Yo,
and she made it great to listen to the.
How about Howard Finkel? Ladies and gentlemen.
He never cried though. They don't. I saw one content creator say, "I don't want my announcers to cry." It's like, bro, shut. Who? Was it open mic night?
They need to know their roles.
Who told you to come? So whatever the saying is.
You know, I'm not even gonna touch that one.
It's too many people.
I'm gonna go down a route that we don't want to go down.
And that was your Monday Night Raw episode. Everybody, stay tuned. We're gonna be back, and we're gonna talk AEW Dynamite.
The TCR Network presents the Tuesday Night Titans, Twitch's longest running eFed. Come check us out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on Twitch, where we have the hardest hitting eFed of all time. If you want to join in on the action, please check us out at tcrnetwork.co.
All right, Wednesday brought us another episode of AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite was emanating from Charleston, West Virginia, the Charleston Coliseum. I would say comparing attendance from Monday Night Raw to AEW Dynamite, Monday Night Raw had an attendance of about 18,000. AEW Dynamite, 3,400 in attendance for.
I was about to say 18.
That. Yeah, it was kind of bad. But granted, a lot of people were traveling for WrestleMania.
Absolutely,
so.
100%.
You also have to, it also WrestleMania is the biggest event of the year.
Yeah.
Compared to other events, so like it's.
So I'm sure they saw a ratings spike, and that is because the week before the Young Bucks had teased that they were going to release the security footage from the Wembley PLE. What was that? All In, I believe, in Wembley.
Yes, sir.
And the situation between CM Punk and Jack Perry backstage, which ultimately led to CM Punk being terminated. What did you guys think of the video? I watched it, and it kind of, to me, confirmed everything that Punk said on his interview during the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, who does a great job, by the way. What did you guys think of the footage?
I think it was stupid.
Yeah, like if it was, I guess if they had more of the audio attached to it, it would have been a little bit like more interesting. But like you said, it was step by step how Punk said it played out, and I feel, unfortunately, it was more of it backfired on Tony.
It was a reaction to the interview, and Cross, what do you think?
I'm still trying to figure out where Tony Khan said he feared for his life.
I guess we popped his head.
Where exactly did he fear for his life in that altercation?
I don't know. I think the fact that they didn't play it with sound either, there was no sound, so you kind of have to assume what's being said, and it's tough. I think at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. Punk fans are still going to be Punk fans. Punk haters are still going to be Punk haters. And fans and haters of AEW will see it in two different ways. They'll see it, the haters of AEW will see it as a desperation move, and the fans will see it as genius because the Young Bucks can't do no wrong in a lot of those people's eyes. They also tried to hype their upcoming match with FTR as well.
Hold on. Don't shit on the Young Bucks. They are an awesome tag team. They're even better EVPs.
That sounds like some fanboy shit right there, Cross.
That isn't a fanboy shit.
I'll
okay?
bleep myself on that one.
They are excellent. It's not their fault that the owner of the company is a child playing with toys. They are doing the best that they can with what they are given.
I don't think that they're using their influence correctly.
I mean, again, they're EVP on paper. They don't even have real power.
But I thought,
right?
Didn't they start the company with him?
Yeah, but they're still EVP on paper. Cody had more power as an EVP than the Bucks did.
Sure.
Because Cody was also the booker.
Right.
And Tony Khan would stay in his lane with Cody.
So you're saying Tony's the booker now?
Tony's the booker now. Tony's doing whatever he can, whatever he wants, because no one's there to really stop him.
And I really think that... So then, I listened to Eric Bischoff's podcast, and him and Tony have a... I would say they have a...
They hate each other.
I would say it's love-hate, but it's more like hate-hate.
You know why? You know why they hate each other? I can tell you why they hate each other.
Well, because a lot of people...
Tony Khan is behaving just like
right.
Eric Bischoff
There are a lot of people
when
make the
he was running
comparison that that AEW is turning into WCW because
except for the fact that Eric Bischoff was the boss, Tony Khan is the boss and the money guy.
Yeah. But what Bischoff says,
that's why Bischoff's bad.
What Bischoff says about Tony Khan is true, is that he doesn't know how to tell a story. He doesn't know storytelling.
That's because he's
not a storyteller. He's a wrestling purist. He likes wrestling matches.
He's a fanboy. He's a fanboy.
But if he was a fanboy, then he should know how to tell a story, though, because
us three can come up with an amazing storyline for AEW.
Back in the 80s, there wasn't a lot of fancy wrestling. It was all storyline.
See, but here's the difference. There's fanboys and there's logical wrestling
Told
fans.
a great story, Macho Man.
Right? Tony Khan is a fanboy. We are logical wrestling fans. We know how to put our fingers on the pulse to say, okay, the fans are probably like this. Not, this is what I like, so I'm going to put it on TV.
Right.
That's the difference.
Well, the rest of this show was kind of, I don't know. We see Adam Copeland doing his best John Cena Open Challenge impression with the TNT title. Last week he faced who was it that he took on last week? He faced your boy Matt Cardona. Came out last week and
my Long Island,
took the job to Copeland. This week we saw Penta Cero Miedo come out. They had a 20-minute match. In the end,
that actually was a pretty good match.
I did see some of the highlights from that match. It did look.
Yeah, that was a good match.
But I have to say, honestly, I don't like Adam Copeland with that belt. I don't like it. I honestly feel that him or Christian.
Right.
It's too much of a low-level belt for them, you saying?
No, it's not that.
I think that's like their IC belt right now, though, right?
I would say it's like their TV title, right? Like
that should be their up-and-coming belt. Like, give it to stars who are up-and-coming, not veterans who have been around for 20+ years. Because all you're doing is hurting. All you're doing is hurting the roster.
Or it's adding prestige to the belts for now. You know, like TNT. I can see it played off a little bit.
Cody was a TNT champion.
Yeah, he was.
I think the TNT title is the closest thing they have to the Intercontinental title as far as in that company, because they also have the the Continental title and the.
They have the Continental.
Everybody
belt,
gets a belt.
International belt.
Everybody gets a belt.
Yeah. Plus, they kept the ROH belts part of their roster.
The IWGP belt is always there. The FTW belt. They're making up belts left and right.
It's my kind of Fed.
Absolutely. Everybody gets a belt. Everybody gets a belt. But yeah, so I mean, good match. Other than that, we see Okada in a squash match against Cristiano Argento. 1 minute 21 seconds. Now,
no, this one's Argento. This one's Italian.
Is he Argento?
Argento.
All right, so Cristiano Argento takes the L against Okada.
Yeah,
obviously. Now,
going up against the Rainmaker. Come on.
Right. Yep, Ospreay was on
Didn't
this.
Ospreay?
Ospreay was on this show.
Don't even get me started on that Osprey interview.
So let's talk about it.
I want.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's get you
So-
started. I'm gonna get you started right now, bro.
Let's
So,
let's
okay,
let's
okay.
let's
Okay.
oh let's set the stage though.
this
Set the stage though. Triple H made some comments about Will Ospreay. Perhaps maybe that he was side. I think Ospreay took it very personally, saying that some people are not up for the grind of being a wrestler every day, and Will Ospreay took offense to that.
Okay. I get Triple H sentiment. I do. He wanted him. He wanted him bad. But he doesn't realize when you're signing wrestlers from across the pond, they're used to a certain schedule. Right? Where Will Ospreay messed up was talking about it. And I understand he was mad, he was venting, but this is a problem that Tony Khan has with AEW. Stop talking about the competition.
Yeah, no control.
They gotta put, like,
Focus on your product, because your product is failing.
Yeah.
And unless you got something gold, like you took one of their best wrestlers, then don't talk about it.
I agree.
Because all he did was focus for a good 5-6 minutes on Triple H's nonsense, then on his upcoming match with Daniel Bryan, thus taking away, the prestige of that match, because that would be a kick-ass match.
Now, is it failing, or has the internet wrestling community created this allure that it's failing and everyone's sort of following
No.
suit?
Well,
No. So, hold on.
there's different theories
So-
on that.
When Cody left, TK took over everything and started doing it his way. I'm gonna say he pulled a Vince Russo. So as it kept going, it just died, and it's gonna die. So, yeah, I'm done. We can move on.
Well, there you go, guys.
Done.
And then we had a 6-man tag match. Speaking of taking away legacy, Chris Jericho. Man, what are they doing with Chris Jericho? He's teaming up with Shibata and Hook to take on Shane Taylor Promotions. And they took an L here. Shane Taylor
That was
Promotions
odd.
taking the W. And, man, I don't know. It was Moriarty pin Shibata.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Lee Moriarty.
Yeah.
That boy gets down.
Shibata getting pinned again.
Shibata been getting pinned.
That's
a
what
lot.
I'm saying. Like, yikes. Yeah. Then we had Mariah May versus Anna Jay. Mariah May picks up the dub. They had an 8-minute match. And then your main event was Samoa Joe defeating Dustin Rhodes in an AEW World Title Eliminator match. So if
the match that everyone's calling the Wish WrestleMania 40 main event.
if desperation was a cologne, you would smell it off Tony Khan a mile away.
Right, and this is what we're
It's
saying.
desperate.
That Tony Khan is doing things that no other logical person would do.
I don't understand it. Booking this days after Cody wins the title. It's no coincidence, people. It's no coincidence.
It was a little upsetting. Like, Dustin deserves better. I love Samoa Joe. I would love to see Dustin win.
A twist that would have put asses in the seat is if Dustin actually won.
Yeah, and have two roads.
Two code roads.
Sorry. 2 code roads as champ.
I think Dustin might be the only one in AEW who bleeds more than Jon Moxley. This guy's bleeding in every match.
Yeah.
If there's a Dustin match, you're guaranteed he's getting busted open.
I mean, right, dude, he doesn't wear full face of paint no more. He's not good.
I'll tell you what, though.
He only has half a face.
Him power slamming Samoa Joe was a sight. The fact that he could still pick up a guy the size of Joe and power slam him. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's pretty dope.
That's because he is the natural.
Yeah, he's the natural. He's the natural mid-carder. For life.
Fun fact, he is also the original American Nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, his career is a nightmare right now. He needs to get out of AEW and go be in the Hall of Fame as Goldust in WWE next year and just call it and just become a producer or something. It's doing really good. It's working wonders for a lot of other people. So, that's Dynamite. Anybody have any other thoughts for Dynamite?
Speaking of ex-AEW stars going to WWE, do you think Sting will eventually go and sign a Legends contract with WWE?
Yeah, he will.
Probably just to do appearances and stuff. He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Right, appearances, getting a payday.
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, get a payday.
Make action figures, get some good pay.
Get back in the video game.
Oh, yeah.
True. Oh yeah, we need that.
Oh, yeah. All right, stay tuned. When we come back, we're gonna cover WWE Friday Night Smackdown, the first Smackdown after WrestleMania. We'll be right back with more Inside the 20x20.
The TCR Network presents the Tuesday Night Titans, Twitch's longest running eFed. Come check us out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on Twitch, where we have the hardest hitting eFed of all time. If you want to join in on the action, please check us out at tcrnetwork.co.
Welcome back to Inside the 20x20. Guys, WWE SmackDown, the first SmackDown after WrestleMania from Detroit, Michigan, in the Little Caesars Arena. Attendance 14,659 official. Corey Graves and Wade Barrett welcoming. Oh, I forgot how to talk for a second. Us in. And of course, kicking off the show, Cody Rhodes as his first appearance on SmackDown. What do you guys think about Cody Rhodes? Another promo from the champ right off the top, quoting his wife. And
yes,
then
that was a good throwback.
It was a good throwback. Jade.
Mm-hmm. He also addressed the 6 competitors that are going to fight for the title shot. Said any of them would be good opponents because tonight on SmackDown, there's going to be 2 triple threat matches, not just one. 2 triple threat matches to determine.
It was a good event.
Who will be Cody's first opponent. So the 2 winners of the triple threat matches will face off next week, which is now this week. And the winners of that match will go on to face Cody at Backlash. So the first triple threat match. Well, what do you guys think of? What do you guys think of Cody's promo there up at the top? I think it was nice and short. I think we can expect to see.
I enjoy Cody on the mic.
I think we can see more promos like this in the future from Cody. Yeah.
Like I enjoy Cody. I enjoy Cody on the mic. What I can say that I guess it's coming with the territory is a lot of Roman fans are coming out right now saying, well, Cody's promos the past couple of nights have been the same.
Yeah.
The same. Like he comes out, he does this, he says this. My dad, I cry, and then it ends. But apparently they don't remember the last 4 years of Roman promos, which he never said a word. Paul Heyman spoke for him, and he just said acknowledge me.
Right.
So it's like, I feel but back to the topic at hand.
It was a good promo. It was a good promo.
It was a good promo.
It was a good promo.
It was a good promo. It was nice. It was short and sweet and delivered the message.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then
though I hold on. I will say this. I love a heel Cody versus a face Cody. I think the promo skills when he's a heel, the delivery is much better.
Can we talk about the ultimate heel move? I'm gonna go back to Monday Night Raw real quick. This is in every wrestling ever that I've ever seen. The ultimate heel move is to make the ring announcer announce that you're the champion again the night after you win the championship. Yes. That is an ultimate.
Right. You are right.
An ultimate heel move, and yet when Cody does it, it's super babyface, like crazy babyface.
There's a reason why it worked. There's a reason why it worked. Yeah. It's because the emotion that she emanated when she announced him as the winner the night prior.
Yeah.
He was giving her that second chance to get
it was amazing. It was amazing. I was like, this is such a heel move right now. But anyway, We cut to a backstage segment where the Bloodline's trying to get into their old locker room, and they can't because it's now Cody's locker room because he's the champion. Loved it.
I love it.
Paul Heyman with Solo. Solo being, very upset. I think foreshadowing to what was to come, but amazing. That was a great little backstage segment. Whoever's producing those backstage segments with the Bloodline, keep it up because that was great.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It's probably Heyman.
I mean,
true.
Yeah.
It's probably Heyman.
Keep it up because that was hilarious. Perfect. First triple threat match, LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley versus Santos Escobar. LA Knight coming off a big dub against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. What'd you guys think? Pretty good match. Obviously, LA Knight comes out on top. They gave him 8 minutes. What'd you guys think?
LA Knight needs another hot run.
Yep.
I feel like they dropped him a little too quickly, and he didn't get his chance to shine.
Right.
So now that Roman is out of the picture, and it's not the same, Lesnar, Cody, is not the same top players anymore. It's allowing other people to move up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like LA Knight versus Cody is in the future.
For sure.
I think Cody's going to win, but it's still going to put LA Knight over.
I think LA Knight should have won a single title by now.
True.
At least one. I think he would have been a great U.S. champ. He probably would have been a funny U.S. champ.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then we have the Bloodline come out to do their in-ring promo. So we have Heyman, Solo, and Jimmy in the ring. Paul Heyman takes the mic, says Roman doesn't blame anyone, wants the Bloodline to take full accountability. Solo says losing has consequences, gets in Jimmy's face, gives him a hug. And then we see the man that Cross thought was going to debut at WrestleMania, but ends up debuting on Smackdown, Tama Tonga, attacking from behind. And Solo and Tama take out Jimmy, putting a chair on Jimmy's neck. Solo telling him once again, I love you. And then the running hip strike into the corner, putting Jimmy down. Paul Heyman, facial reactions during this promo, during this action, amazing. Deserves an Oscar. Him acting terrified of Solo is absolutely incredible. And now we're gonna see how they explain who Tonga is and how it makes sense. He makes sense in the Bloodline. Thoughts?
Always been a Tama fan. He's always been great. But my biggest gripe with all of this, Solo says losing has consequences. The guy who hasn't won a match in all of his entire career. He's only like 65. I don't know.
Hold on. He beat John Cena.
He did beat Cena.
They
served Cena up for him, though.
All right, one win in a year and a half, right? Like, he has no right to say losing has consequences when a majority of his career have been losses, right? Like, that's my only... It would have been nice to see him attack Jimmy, and then Jimmy, fights back and he wins, and then like that, and then Tama comes out, like, put up a good fight because, hey, Jimmy's got more dubs than Solo has in the past year. Yeah. But that's my only thing about that. Solo shouldn't be talking about losing has consequences.
Well, I mean, all things considering,
great.
They're building Solo up. He's gonna say that the Bloodline held him back. He was so focused on handling everyone else's business that he couldn't handle his own business.
Right.
Because in NXT he was a monster. On SmackDown, unfortunately, he was Roman's bitch.
He was the stepping stone.
So now's his time to shine.
He was the stepping stone.
Now's his time to shine. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was.
He played in force or more than professional wrestling.
So you're saying that Roman held another superstar back?
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. Hot take. I don't think he held him back, bro. I think he got the rub from him, and now he's gonna turn into the Samoan Destroyer, Umaga.
He is the new tribal chief.
Umenga?
I don't care what anyone says. Solo is now the new tribal chief.
I can see that. I can see him leading the other team versus Roman.
For now, until The Rock comes back.
Like a Civil War thing. Until
Rock, it's going to be Rock, Solo, Tama.
Right. versus Jimmy J.
Consider this.
Roman.
Maybe the final boss is putting all this into motion.
It could be. Because remember, later on in the night, Solo comes back and he says that was done by order of the tribal chief. So who does he mean? Because that's not what Heyman said.
Well, Thomas said that.
I thought it was Solo.
No, Thomas said it was unordered by the tribal chief.
I don't think Thomas said a word. Did Thomas speak?
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. I do not recall. I don't think he did.
Yeah, Thomas spoke.
We'd have to go back to the. We'd have to go back to the tape.
Go watch the video. Go watch the video. Thomas didn't speak yet. He just gave him a hard look after Solo told him.
And
that.
another thing, WWE doing WWE things. Removing Thomas face paint. I hope he starts rocking some face paint.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nah, it's not gonna work.
None of the other ones wear the face paint, so I don't think they'll do that. Well, I just think it was a great segment. It was a great segment. Then we had Braun Breaker come out and squash Cameron Grimes. Quick squash.
Ooh.
Breaker hit a clothesline and a spear to get the easy win. I don't know.
Breaker's
Incomplete.
Breaker's doing
incomplete grade for now because they're just using him in squash matches. Then we had your new WWE Women's Champion come out, Bayley, to a great ovation. Chance of you deserve it, of course. She puts over the locker room. She puts over the fans. Says she wants to give someone an opportunity, and that brings out Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton to answer the open challenge. Bayley then says, I'm not offering open challenge, but wants to give Naomi a title shot instead. Naomi says she wants to take on Tiffany. Oh, that brings out Naomi, actually. Then that sets up Naomi versus Tiffany, where surprisingly, Naomi takes the dub. I was very surprised that Stratton did the job here. What do you guys think?
No, I think Naomi is with the new crew, with Jade and Bianca, they're going to be on a win streak. It's their time to shine, and I love Naomi. She's well overdue to get a strap.
I mean, she just got back.
Well overdue to become a women's champion.
She was a women's champion.
Yeah, how many moons ago?
In TNA before she debuted. Before she came back at the Rumble.
WWE, we're not talking about whatever happens outside of WWE doesn't count. All right.
No, this is a wrestling podcast, not a WWE podcast.
But we gotta go with the product, right?
We're talking about wrestling as a whole. We're not talking about the WWE.
Well,
stop being a WWE mark.
Speaking of Jade and Bianca, that was the next match on the card. Jade and Bianca defeated Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Now another really fast match. 1 minute and 24 seconds. Jade Cargill not really racking up the minutes in the ring.
I said she's the next female gold.
Bianca and Jade matching gear, very nice. And I think Chelsea had a good character.
5 seconds.
She had a good character arc there. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with her. They're just.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Then we get to
rough.
the main event.
Ooh.
The second triple threat match of the night between AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Rey Mysterio. And, of course, setting up I thought Rey had a shot. He cut a really nice promo in the locker room.
That spot where he hit Kevin Owens with that DDT.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I was like, yo, Rey, for 50-something years old.
Yeah.
Doing these moves like he was a 20-year-old luchador. Like, yo, people don't know what they missed with old school Rey Mysterio.
I know.
And that just gave me a glimpse of, like, it just reminded me of back in the day watching him do some crazy stuff.
Yep.
I mean, right now it's watered down Rey Mysterio, so.
Right. Well, he's trying not to get hurt again, I'm pretty sure. Like, he just wants to stay healthy,
Yeah.
He's trying to make
like,
it to
geez,
next week
man. At this point, it's like. But I will give that match a definite A for being the main event, and it was definitely the best match.
It was a great match.
Best match of the night. The double German suplexes, pretty dope. Rey was out there trying to, I guess, maybe show that he had some. He really doesn't have anything else to prove. He's a legend.
He's a Hall of Famer.
So Yeah, I just thought it was.
Does he have another title run in him? I don't know. I love Ray.
I don't think
I'm
so.
a huge Rey Mysterio
I think
fan.
he's there to elevate at
Listen.
this point. He should just elevate people at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when he won that U.S. belt, I was like, okay, they gave him his last title run.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But
I can see him do tag team.
I don't see him being world champ again.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
They treated him horribly every time he won a world title in that organization. So.
Yeah. So all in all, 2 squash matches in the show, but not bad. Pretty solid episode of SmackDown. Best match of the night, main event for sure. Biggest conversation on social media, most likely the debut of Tonga and the new Bloodline storyline, I think. And I think it was a great SmackDown.
I can't wait till Jacob Fatu shows up.
Ooh.
I can't wait.
There's going to be a lot going on. I still think Bloodline 2.0, whatever they're calling it, is basically when everyone joined the NWO. And then you had Wolfpack versus NWO. And it was very oversaturated, but I feel Triple H is good. He's in charge. I have full faith in him. And I believe it's going to be well played out.
That's right.
It is.
I just hope it doesn't happen.
And you know what? We have faith in you, the audience, to stay tuned because we're going to come back with our recaps of Rampage, Collision, and Battle of the Belts right after this.
The TCR Network presents the Tuesday Night Titans, Twitch's longest running eFed. Come check us out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on Twitch, where we have the hardest hitting eFed of all time. If you want to join in on the action, please check us out at tcrnetwork.co.
All right, guys, now we go to the second Friday night show. This one from AEW, Rampage, taped in the Charleston Coliseum, the same place where Dynamite was taped. And the opening of the show saw Orange Cassidy versus Alex Reynolds. Alex Reynolds from the Dark Order. What do you guys think? This is all after the big split of the Best Friends following Trent Beretta's shocking betrayal of Orange Cassidy. What do you think about this storyline? Is this angle intriguing to you guys, or what is it? What is it?
Typical Long Islander move. Trent.
Trent Beretta.
Cassidy,
Shout out to
even
Trent.
more ambivalent than normal this week. Maybe a reflection of Trent Beretta's recent betrayal.
I mean, he walked out of the match and walked past his own mama.
Wow.
That says a lot about the dude.
I mean, Trent?
With the question mark?
With a question mark? I forgot. People can't see my face. Clips will be on the YouTube channel, though, guys.
There it is.
And the Instagram.
Don't forget to follow us everywhere.
TikTok.
Follow us everywhere. So Orange Cassidy.
Look, it was only a matter. It was only a matter of time before the Best Friends imploded.
Sure.
Obviously.
We were all waiting for it. I'm surprised it took this long.
For real.
Next match, TBS title, women's title. Julia Hart picks up the dub against Layla Hirsch. What do you guys think of Julia Hart coming in here and getting this dub? She's been evolving. She's a member of the House of Black, evolving her character, and gets a shot here on Rampage. Only 3-minute match, but she picks up the dub.
I mean, considering where she started with the Varsity Blondes,
Right.
and to where she is now, she's had a huge transition.
Yeah.
And she's actually have been improving her wrestling ability, because when she first came on the scene, she was as green as hell. Now she's actually a contender.
There you go.
Well, she's a champion now, so says a lot about her.
Very good.
The TBS champion.
And then next we saw a match born on the ongoing love storyline involving Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho. Or should I say, Cool Hand Angelo Parker. Angelo Parker is getting into beef with Paige's brother, Zach Knight. That's the storyline they got going on. What do you guys think about this storyline? Looks like they finally had their one-on-one, and Parker takes the L. And Zach Knight...
I think it's a waste of air. I think it's a waste of air. Honestly, this whole storyline is dumb.
Wow.
Keep going, Cross. Why do you think it's them?
Honestly, since Soraya's been back into the wrestling world, what has she done? She won the belt at Wembley. She lost it like 2 weeks later. And now she's become a mouthpiece again. She brought in her brother who couldn't even get signed to the WWE. And his wrestling ability kind of sucks.
Ooh. There's the clip.
Harsh
There's
words.
the clip. Wow.
Harsh words. Breaking people's hearts out
Sorry,
there.
bud. Interesting in that Excalibur at the end of the match said, "What's next for Parker?" implying and suggesting that this is probably the conclusion of this feud after this was the blow-off, and they're going to be moving on and looking for something else to do with these two gentlemen and these two ladies that have been highly underutilized by Tony Khan. Highly underutilized.
Yep.
7 minutes, 42
He's
seconds.
like hogging all the... He's hogging all the talent.
And then finally, another incredibly underutilized wrestler, Switchblade Jay White versus Evan Bourne, now known as Matt Sydal.
All right, don't sleep on Matt Sydal.
No, I love Matt Sydal.
He may not be
Evan
born
Bourne.
again,
Yeah.
but he can
I
still
love
go.
Evan
Great offense shown here. They had a good technical matchup. Tony, that's what he's about, right? Having the good matches, and he wants those 5 stars in every match. I would say,
If you don't have emotion behind
There's
it,
no
you get
story.
5
There's no
stars.
story. So
No.
Sydal obviously still looking smooth in there. Can still do all the moves. I just think White is being used so unsatisfyingly. Like they just need to find something for him. And it's not
Yeah.
the Bullet Club Gold thing. Just not. It's not working for me. I don't know about you guys.
It doesn't resonate the way Bullet Club did
100%.
in Japan.
100%. And that was that show. And then let's move on to Collision. Saturday night's offering from AEW, which is this is supposed to be the wrestlers show, the pro wrestling show, where there's just great matches all the time. The show opened with House of Black, which was consisted of Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black versus Action Andretti, Dante Martin, and Matt Sydal again. House of Black picks up the dub here in the 6-man tag.
Which they should be dominating, and they should have been dominating for God knows how long. Because when was the last time Malachi Black had a friggin' match?
Oof.
Last week.
Prior to that, didn't he go like a long streak without having a match? Wasn't he like not used for like months?
He was injured.
Yeah, but then they added to that too. Everyone's injured.
Yeah.
Everybody's always injured.
Injured. That's why they don't show them on camera.
So House of Black pick up the dub here. Then we see a video of Jericho talking to Taz. This is a nice little old flashback there, a little nostalgia. It seems that Jericho's trying to show Hook the ropes of wrestling, and Taz is just trying to say, he's his own man. Taz doesn't want to get involved. Where do you guys see this heading? I see
Big
It looks like Hook and Jericho already had a match where Hook defeated Jericho. Jericho did take the L for him, so hats off to Jericho for doing that. But it seems like this is heading in another direction where they might have an even bigger match. I don't know. Taz isn't coming out of retirement. I know that much.
No.
Loves the human suplex machine.
Then we see.
I think Hook's got a lot of potential.
Right.
I feel he's gotten a great push in AEW, and he's gonna soon hit the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Yes.
I think he's gonna have to jump ship.
Yeah.
But jump ship to where?
Maybe go to Japan for a little bit. I don't know. He's gonna have to do something else because WWE isn't the spot for him yet. But with Triple H at the helm and Netflix deal coming up, it might bring in a perfect Hook scenario for him to excel.
Yeah, I think he could do good in New Japan. Right now, I think he needs to get rid of the FTW belt.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that belt needs to be retired. No, I think that belt needs to be retired, and he needs to go after an actual belt.
Not Dad's belt, you know.
Not exactly, not Daddy's belt.
Which, don't get me wrong, everyone out there listening, I love the FTW belt.
I want the FTW belt.
I want the FTW belt. But it is Taz's
Get him an
belt.
FTW belt, everybody.
Yes.
Next, we have Shibata finally picking up a dub against Moriarty.
I think Lee Moriarty should have won that
10-minute match.
I was disappointed that he lost.
I don't think they could have Shibata lose again, bro. For at least another 2 weeks. Because, damn, he's been taking some L's. I'm really glad he picked up a W here. There was some shenanigans after the match. Hook comes out. T-bones a bunch of people. And it looks like it's Hook versus Shane Taylor at Battle of the Belts. And, yeah. And we have Daniel Garcia versus Serpentico. With Danny Garcia picking up the dub here. 5-minute match. Not much going on. Strong win for Garcia. Not a lot of emotion going on there. Then we have a AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator. Toni Storm and Mariah May versus AZM with Anna Jay. Toni Storm picking up the dub. And just continuing that win streak that she's got going on. Like we talked about earlier. Toni Storm.
Yeah, they're using her very well. Yeah, she's definitely looking strong. And like I said previously, the whole angle, her whole persona, it's awesome. It's fresh. It's new. It's something like that you kind of want to see. But TK just needs to do that with a lot more of his wrestlers.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Then we got cut to backstage. We have a promo from Mark Briscoe. He's
the new ROH.
That's right.
Heavyweight
That's
champion.
right. He says that it looks like that there's going to be a triple threat match versus House of Black, Mark Briscoe, Adam Copeland, and Eddie Kingston versus House of Black at Dynasty. That's probably going to be a very violent match. Then we have a Thunder Rosa interview. And then Tony Schiavone announces that the Young Bucks versus FTR is now going to be a ladder match. So
interesting.
That should be a good match. Let's see what happens at Dynasty. They're gonna have to add a lot more matches for me to buy that pay-per-view. But yeah, that's a good start. That's a good start. And then finally, the main event of the night sees the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Don Callis family. Blackpool Combat Club consisting of our man, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli, defeating Kyle Fletcher and Powerhouse Hobbs in a 25-minute match. Outstanding main event between four guys who, wrestling-wise, pretty much can't miss lately. They're doing really good. And right after the match, we see a run-in. Takashita. Takashita comes out and gives Danielson a brain buster on the ramp. Did not look good. It looks like he took a shit on him. And the entire crowd chanting for Jon Moxley. And that's how we faded to black.
And Moxley's nowhere
to be seen. So 2 hours of pro wrestling right there. I would say it was an okay show. Again, not a lot of storyline. Toni Storm, I think her storyline out of everybody's, to be honest with you, right now.
Yeah. It's probably the best
storyline that AEW has going on, and that's saying a lot. But any other thoughts on AEW? Yeah. We got 2 minutes left to talk about AEW. Whatever you want to talk about.
I feel that they can turn it around because everyone's, hoping for their demise. But, you need competition out there. So I'm hoping AEW turns it around and puts the fire to everybody. I just want to see people succeed. I want to see wrestling. I'm enjoying it. I'm in it for the ride. it's good to have more than one, thing to watch.
The competition needs to be there.
Competition is good for everyone. Yep, I agree.
That is very true.
All right, guys. Stick around for more Inside the 20 by 20.
The TCR Network presents the Tuesday Night Titans, Twitch's longest running eFed. Come check us out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. live on Twitch, where we have the hardest hitting eFed of all time. If you want to join in on the action, please check us out at tcrnetwork.co.
Well, we did it, everybody. The first episode of Inside the 20 by 20 is in the books. Cross.
Yes, sir.
Gambino, what'd you guys think? We good? We're coming back next week?
Oh, hell yeah. Make sure you tune in weekly. Next week, we're going to have a lot more things to say about what's happening in the world of wrestling.
100%. And we hope you guys all tune in. Don't forget to follow us everywhere. On Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. We are Inside the 20, X20 on all of those wonderful platforms. And yeah, we're going to be putting out content. It's going to come out every Monday. At what time Monday? You'll never know. You'll just have to wait and see. But
oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, every Monday we'll have content out. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, follow button, all that stuff. Hit the bell for notifications for when we post something new. And until next time, we hope you guys have a great rest of your wrestling week. And guys, anything else?
Somebody call my mama.
Somebody call his mama. See you next week, everybody.
Laters.
Thank you for joining us. New episodes of Inside the 20 by 20 will be posted on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts every Monday morning. Inside the 20 by 20 is a GDP production and brought to you by the TCR Network. Go to tcrnetwork.co for more information. For business inquiries, please email inside the 20 by 20 at gmail.com.